time exploring the wild blue yonder, but owning an airplane can get expensive, unless you have a few good friends who can share the cost. In tonight's Faces and Places of the Panhandle, we take you to the Marietta Airport, where a group of flyboys take to the skies whenever they get the chance. Okay, so maybe it's not quite Top Gun. But to these guys, it's just as exciting.
I've been an airplane nut since I was a small kid.
They're part of a group called NWFlyers Club.
The Flying Club is a nonprofit organization so that it can spread the cost out of owning planes.
What year is this?
77. Instead of one person owning a plane and having all the cost and expense of that, we can share that because it's hard to fly a plane enough to really justify owning one.
The club's 15 members own 2 planes, a Cessna 182 and a Cessna 172.
It's probably the best way to have a plane and fly without costing the amount that it would if you owned your own plane, plus the maintenance and insurance that you had to pay.
This one's pretty basic.
Some of the members do have their own planes.
You do have an ELT. Yeah.
Along with the adrenaline rush they get from flying, these men also want to make a difference. Whenever possible, many of the pilots volunteer for Angel Flights, a worldwide organization that helps arrange transportation for needy medical patients.
I picked up patients from Pensacola and flown to Gainesville to the University of Florida Medical Center, and it's really rewarding to see these people in such need and be able to volunteer your time and money to make it possible for them to get to treatment centers.
It usually takes 40 hours total to get a pilot's license, 20 of those with a flight instructor.
That could spread out over 6 months or a couple of years, depending upon how often you go, what your funds are like.
I didn't start taking lessons until about the age of 45. I'm 48 now, and so I started late. But it took me 8 months.
For several of these pilots, their love for flying was passed down.
And my father was a World War II pilot. He learned to fly in a Stearman and a P-38 night fighter.
My uncle was a pilot. He's a tail gunner in a B-36 during the 50s.
Ready?
Hey,
Let's go. It didn't take too much arm twisting to get one of the pilots to take me up.
you want a headset here?
So I can talk to you through this? You're going to tell me when I can take over?
Sure. I'm gonna let you fly it. That sound good?
Sounds good, but you might not think so afterwards.
The great thing about the club is that these planes are maintained to the highest degree because we're not going to fly a plane that's not safe.
The pilots confess they sometimes take to the skies to get away from it all.
You just can't imagine what it's like till you're up there and away from everything and looking out at clouds and sunsets from the air. It's just beautiful.
Now, the wives aren't left out. They share in the high-flying enthusiasm. Most are content to be co-pilots, but at least one has taken flying lessons but isn't confident enough to fly solo just yet. They all say one reason they love flying, it's faster than driving and a lot more fun. Up next, some locals were